last time on Island ADV.
Our wild camper tonight did not pan out. The way it looks on Google Maps is completely different than what it is.
Pretty squirrely on the right. The road's gonna be like this all day, man. Maybe this was a good call.
Morning, folks. Well, it is a very cool morning up here at about 500 feet above the sea level. It's not too much as far as elevation is concerned, but it's a beautiful morning out here on the Rivière de Madeleine, just outside of Murdochville here in Quebec. And for the first time, we've woken up without the threat of impending doom from the skies above us. We got a medium-sized day, 5-hour ride. The goal today, get into Murdochville, tank up again, move back onto the Trans-Québec trail and head towards, what are they called? Saint-Anne-de-Mont, I think. It's just rearranged a little bit. I'll try to find the wording and put it on a map so you guys can understand kind of where we're going today. But yeah, that's the goal. And then we're moving into Parc National Gaspé, and that's where we're going to be staying overnight because we have a campsite there. It's already booked. So we just have to, cross the language barrier again and figure that out like we did the night before rather. And yeah, I'll pick you guys up when we saddle up and when we get a little bit further back onto the Trans-Québec trail out of Murdochville. Take care.
Oh, I'm so excited to ride in some sunny weather first thing.
Yeah, it's nice.
Hopefully it'll be invigorating. Well, folks, we're back on our way to Murdochville this morning, where I think we should probably tank up, just so we can go back into the trail with 0 on the trip odometer, man. And from there, I think what we're going to do today is just, we have a destination in mind, of course, it's our campground, but I think we're just going to let the Trans-Québec Trail take us on a journey and see what we can see on it. I'll say one thing about this trip overall. It's definitely very different from last year's trip in a very specific way. Like last year, we had a more universal trip. We had blacktop, we had ADV rides, we had dual sport trail riding. And we were trail riding quite hard for long periods of the day. And I'm not saying this is a trail what we're on right now, but I think you probably agree with me that this is more of like in the realm of an ADV bike experience. And that's the vibe that I've gotten out of the Trans-Québec Trail so far, having ridden it solid for probably like 2 days. Not solid dirt for 2 days, but you know what I'm saying. But I love it. I think it's great. It's a nice, chill way to approach the Gaspé Peninsula, and I think I've been enjoying it quite a bit.
One of the things that I've been enjoying a lot about the Trans-Québec Trail on this trip is just the variety of terrain to ride on. We go from stuff like that to beautiful mountain vistas off the blacktop just like this, and it's just amazing. But it starkly changes right away to something that tightens up into a good dual sport line like this. Just enough to keep you from getting bored, and just enough to keep the challenge there too.
Take it slow coming down. Yep. Just a little bit of a puddle that's way deeper than it looks. Alright folks, so we're back on the Trans-Québec Trail. Well, we never left it really since Murdochville, but we're in a more meaty portion of it, if you will. Number one, the scenes out here to the left are just beautiful. Look at the mountains out there, just amazing. But this is probably the most, probably the most dual sporty meatier section that I've seen since we've been coming through here, but I like it. It's nice. It's a good putter along. You know, we're making progress towards our objective, which is our next fuel. And we're about 122 clicks out, and that's insane. Or I think that's in Kepchat. But we're not doing this all the way there. There's some blacktop involved, which I'm looking forward to as well, but it's pretty nice, pretty great. I'm just gonna stick right on this washout just because of the blind, but you can take left because it's clear. Dice. Just muddy little things, but enough to get the back tire a wiggle. Doing this in the pouring rain would probably be a different experience. And you'd be going like uphill through currents of water probably. Ooh, a bit sloppy there. Try to stay away from the middle line. It slants down like that.
This section of the Trans-Québec Trail was a lot of fun. It was really interesting to ride along the ridge lines like this and just kind of be alongside of the mountains and into the woods at the same time. And this section of the Trans-Québec Trail lies just north of Murdochville here, and you can see how it wraps into the inland, into the mountainous areas. And it continued to do that on our route for the rest of this morning as we made our way slowly up towards Mont Saint-Pierre. But we really started to see some awesome mountainous regions in this one, more than we'd ever seen already on the Trans-Québec Trail. And that was primarily because we were getting closer and closer to the Parc National Gaspé.
I've always wanted to ride through like mountains, you know, before, and like I've never, I mean, to some degree I've done it in New Brunswick because Parkendale and Riverside, Albert is all like really nice mountainous terrain, but nothing like this. It doesn't come even anywhere close. So just puttering along on a nice little dual track, just having a pretty view to enjoy the whole time. Wow, man, just those mountains, so high up. Like they're in the clouds, right? They're not just like chopped off or anything. I guess today is probably going to be the more mountainous of days, I think, because we're headed to places called Saint-Anne-de-Mont and Saint-Pierre-de-Mont and stuff like that. Mont's being mountain, right? Like,
riding through these valleys was amazing. Just every once in a while looking to the sides and seeing something massive reach up into the sky just made you feel like you were riding at the feet of giants. And it gives you this feeling that you're just so small by comparison when you do this. And it's those kind of feelings that really bring me to the reason why I ride this bike and why I go on these adventures so much, because you get this brand new emotion and brand new feeling, and it's all built on something that has a foundation of accomplishment to it as well. Like, you've been out here this long and you're rewarded with this kind of image, and man, it just never stops feeling good.
Well, folks, this has been one heck of an amazing trail start to our day on the Trans-Québec Trail today. Our day 4 of 7, officially at the halfway point, which is wild. But it's been great. I mean, it really shows off the variety of the trail conditions that you're going to see on the Trans-Québec Trail. Like, you know, for me, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if we were going to see this all the time. I didn't know if it was going to be ATV trail grade all the time, or just like, you know, dirt road, fire road, that kind of stuff. But it's fantastic. Whoever put this together knew exactly what they were doing and exactly what they needed to do to make sure that a bike with a couple different fuel ranges would be able to benefit from some of the awesome views and trails that you get. So I think the plan next is to move up to the northern coast. We'll get towards Cap Chat, Saint-Anne-d'Amont, maybe get a bite to eat, maybe have a look up in here. I think this is worth it, man. Far right on this tree. Let me know if you run into trouble, man. It's not too bad up through here. There's going to be washouts on right side as you come around to right bend. It's nothing though. It's center line's going to work for you. There's some tricky stuff. Up a little bit higher, but not too bad. Old moose, right side. There he goes. Oh, big antlers and everything. Did I get it on video? Oh, I did too. Sweet. Wow, that was a beauty. I wish you could. Did you see him at all? Oh man, I'm so sorry. Well, that was cool. That was worth a little detour, Island Riders. Now this would be a spot to camp, eh? All right, folks. Well, I think we're gonna now go back to the original plan and head into civilization a bit more. We'll meander our way back down. That was a great little detour. Very fun.